Alright, what's cracking with y'all? It's your boy Prince the Hustle God, and we reaching in our combat tool bag again. It's a cold black affair. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, LDBC only, LDBC everywhere. So Jerron Boots Ennis, the young Super Saiyan God, man. I mean, if we're actually looking at what we see from this kid, um, 29 victories, 27 KOs. We're seeing great things from this kid. It's hard to say um, somebody isn't worthy of the respect or acclaim they're receiving when the artistry they're displaying is like no other, and then b their their um, their record or their profile or their resume um, has volume. Now, as far as names, yes, he's lacking some names, but it's no different than um, before Devin Haney was undisputed, or before Earl Spence was unified. Everyone was ducking these guys. I mean, we can't forget the story or history behind the fights that are made and are not made. Hence the creation and inception of this channel. I want to create a time capsule and capture moments so that people can remember the story behind each fight. So that when we look back in history, people don't just look at the fights that they see and judge the best off of this spectacle, but actually know who was trying to fight the best and who actually was the best. Because when we look back, the younger generation looks back on the golden ages of boxing, or even times before that. All we have is the fights. We don't have the stories unless we're going and actually looking from the historian's perspective, and in that we get their biased perspective of the story. But I digress. So Boots, I make this video because he's recently signed a massive well, let's not say massive, let's just say a very productive deal with Showtime and Steven Espinoza. So in that, he's completed his first task, which was supposed to be a step-up fight with the undefeated contender Custio Clayton. I called him Cletus's cousin because we don't really know who this guy was. I did a little bit of homework on him, and I seen he was in the fights he's had and where he's from, Canada. He was a puncher, boxer puncher, was fundamentally sound, but as soon as he got in there under them bright lights and Jerron Boots and it started popping the jab, he froze up, and then he hit him with a 6. That's an overhand, left or right, and crippled the guy, and that was it. So it was underwhelming, not because of Boots, but because of his competition. Yet it was a step-up fight, so it doesn't leave you to question Boots. It leaves you to question who's next or what's next, because every time we see him out, he's giving us the same thing, stoppages. I mean, in a beautiful fashion. Pause. You know, we East Coast, so but incredible artistry, but stopping people. You know what I mean? Like ridiculously. So now we want to see who's next or what's next. It was rumored that Keith Thurman was going to be an option, and now it's rumored that Keith Thurman is suspended, possibly because of an injury. But we know Keith Thurman wasn't going to take that fight anyway. Seeing his Boots has mandatory positions in multiple sanctioning bodies, but like he's close to being mandatory for all of the belts. But he doesn't actually have a belt. So Keith Thurman would make as many excuses as he could find under the sun to not fight this young Super Saiyan God. So yeah, that leaves me to ask, who's next? What's next? We know with this deal, Steven Espinoza is gonna be looking at PBC, like scouring the list, like, all right, who is we sacrificing, because y'all not going to keep giving us Cletus's cousin and South African Van Heerdens and whatever the hell, and for Boots, I'm not knocking him at all. I think he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. It's just like when Devin Haney and Earl Spence were coming up and people refused to fight him. Well, what do? You fight. You know what I mean? So that said, I'm excited for the future of this kid. Right now, he is the perfect fighter. The boxer, mover. He can stick and move. He can bang with you. He has defense. People are saying he's getting caught, but I mean, all of the top guys, and I'm the biggest Earl Spence fan. I respect Terrence Crawford, but and no one gets in there and swims without getting wet. The only person we've seen in recent history to go an entire fight and not get hit once is probably Roy Jones. In white history. On the other side, you got like Willie Pep as the their reference point, and it's like I don't reference that because these aren't things that I've seen with my own eyes. But it's like, this is a kid who, yes, he'll get hit once or twice, but I mean, it's a fight. So that said, PA stand up. I'm a PA player, so I had to throw that in there. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. LDBC only, LDBC everywhere. It's a code block affair. Till next time, guys, like, subscribe, comment, share, join the community. Deuces.